Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Randy's Advice with me, Randy Prizzle. How you guys all doing out there? Here for another episode for another poor sod out there. Let's get into this episode and see what this poor sod needs some advice for from me this week. I called 911 on my ex-boyfriend, and now he's a registered sex offender. That's deep. Let's continue and see what more lies in the story. My ex and I have been together for 3 years when this incident occurred. Our son was 3 months old and is now 2. My ex was a cheerleader and found out he cheated on me my entire pregnancy and was still doing so when I was 2 months postpartum. I didn't say anything initially because I was so heartbroken and suffering from severe postpartum depression and anxiety that I didn't say anything. He left the house one night and said he was going to his best friend's house. I had a gut feeling he was lying when we had each other on live 360. Don't know what that is. Maybe it's just like a checking up on thing. But she said, and I checked his location out just to check the location on the phone, and discovered that he was pausing his location, so it appeared he was still at home. I had remembered that he'd shared his location with me on Find My once, so I went to see if it was still shared, and it miraculously was. He was driving to 7-Eleven. I watched his location and he started heading toward his friends. I started to feel guilty until he passed his friend's house and parked at a park. I watched his location for 20 minutes and contemplated going there myself, but I wasn't going to drag my infant out of the house. I just sobbed and sobbed because I knew he was likely with a random person. I'd found videos of him fucking people outside and in parking lots when I discovered the cheating. I called 911 and reported 2 people having sex at the park and went to sleep. The next day I woke up to missed call from the police station and his mom. Nobody could bail him out, so he sat there a couple of weeks until he had a court appearance and was let out with a date to come back. In those few weeks, I felt pretty free and great about my decision. His family was super disappointed as his mugshot for public indecency and lewdness became public. He ended up taking charges for public indecency and lewdness and had to register as a sex offender, which has since become an obstacle for him to parent. Because he was at a children's park, it made his case pretty difficult, and he isn't allowed at most places with kids. He can't come to our son's swimming classes or any daycare events. I kind of feel guilty. Nobody knows it was me who called the police on him. I feel a lot of guilt because I know this will impact our son for the rest of our lives, and it's a choice I can't take back, and a choice I made out of anger. First off, like, there's things that you should think about before you make these choices because they will come back to bite you. And this choice you decided to do is coming back to bite you. You know what I mean? And it probably will when your son can't bond with his father, because what you've taken away is the ability for him and the son to bond more. They can't do that, which could lead to resentment, which could lead to problems. Um, and him not having that father figure in his life could lead him down some dark paths potentially. I hope not. Listen, because some kids will start to either resent you, the mum, or resent the dad. So it's going to go one way or the other. I mean, if he ends up not, then somehow, some miraculous way, he's just not going to go to that point. But what you've kind of done is a bit bad, to be honest. I think that there should have been some thought about this before you actually went through with it. But people do a lot of things out of anger without thinking. But this is a clear indication that this could impact a lot of things, and it's obviously impacted a lot of things. Now, the first thing you should have done when you knew he was cheating was confronted him. It's as simple as that. You should have asked him questions. Why are you doing this? And then if he kept doing it, leave him. As simple as that. But what you've now done is crossed the line where you have not allowed him to have access to his son anymore because of your decision. So you acted on it, and this is the consequences now. So you're unfortunately gonna have to live with that. My advice, I don't know, because you can't really do anything about this. You've kind of made your bed, you kind of have to lie in it. I just feel like in some sort of ways, you may have to find a way to speak to the courts again or get this case dropped. I don't know how, but then he's been caught on sex charges, sex offender, and he's doing it in the park with some woman. It's messy now. I think the best case scenario is to come clean in some sort of ways and just tell him. I think the baddest thing now is he can't see his son, and he doesn't know that you were behind it. You need to be honest, number one, because this now has impacted that, and somehow I feel like there is no real way forward from this. I feel like you probably have to go behind the courts' back and get him to meet up with his son, not in a place where it's kids are around and but just like a one-on-one meetup with maybe parents there or something. I don't know, just somewhere where he can see his kid more often, because obviously you can't see him in public places or anything. So yeah, wild. But that's all I generally got for that poor sod out there, and that's all this episode. I've gone overboard, which I shouldn't have done, but I have. But yeah, that's the advice for the poor sod out there. Appreciate you guys' time. Till next time, guys. Sod off. Go on. Sod off.